Faraz picking up the aces.
Here's a look at our current leaderboard. Faraz Jaka up 32,000 on this session. Johnnie Moreno also in the green at 7,500. Justin Young, our biggest loser for the moment, down 32,000. Shane and Brian both down a little bit, but not too far from even.
Blinds are 50 and 100. Let's go to Faraz with the pair of tens. He'll make it 300 to go. And now Brian Ercolano, who's a local, and he's a businessman, calling with ace-8. Brian checks in the blind. Ace-king-6 on the flop. Brian catching aces right here. Faraz doesn't like it, checks as well. A 10 on the turn.
He certainly likes that.
Faraz with 3 of a kind.
Now Faraz check behind on the flop now, going for some value, and Brian overplaying his hand a little here with the check raise. He just has a medium strength top pair on a board where Faraz can have a better ace, could have a set, as he does, straights. So Faraz just calls.
The 9 of diamonds.
Brian bets 1,500. Faraz might raise. Nope, he's just gonna call for fear of that queen jack, so his set of tens will be good.
Nice hand.
Thank you.
And so he'll take down a nice pot against Brian there, who got a lot of money out there for a medium strength top pair.
This could be you. Get a free shot at winning a seat into a WPT main event at ClubWPT.com. Sign up for free today using bonus code YT34.
I'm feeling like I'm gonna make an amazing run right now. Just letting everybody know.
You want a good luck Twizzler?
I will like a good luck Twizzler.
Got some gummy bears in here too.
Johnnie and Justin both folding.
Thank you.
Actually, you know what? I'll take one.
No rush of a Twizzler.
I'm gonna drink my water out of using
Oh,
this
is it
as a
me?
straw.
And now Brian Ercolano with just a 9-5, gonna call.
Got a call? Okay.
Did you say anything?
No,
Okay.
but know that I tried to bet 1,000.
Faraz Jaka with a 9-7, checks it.
Got a mouthful of Twizzler, so he didn't say anything.
I was feeling strong with my Twizzler over here.
2 players, here's the flop. 8-6-3.
Faraz here with an open ender up against Brian's gut shot to the 7, so these two are sharing outs.
Brian has bet this to 500.
That's Twizzler. It's very fresh. It's soft.
Faraz over the top.
Oh.
And Brian, with not much hand, wants to continue in position, so we will see a turn. And that will complete Faraz's straight. However, it puts a 3rd diamond on the board.
Brian likes poker, of course, but he says he likes blackjack. He just won a lot of money and put it in a garbage bag to get out of there. So he is a high roller, and then we officially nicknamed him Garbage Bag Brian.
Well, Garbage Bag Brian using a garbage hand here to try and bluff Faraz. He has no outs going to the river. All he can hope for is a chop with a 7.
Well, he's trying to pretend like he caught this flush with a hefty raise. Faraz doesn't believe him, makes this call. We are going down the river.
And the Jack of Hearts on the river won't change anything about the board's texture. We've seen Brian do this a few times where he tries to represent a flush on a 3-flush board, but typically when you make these type of bluffs, you want at least 1 diamond in your hand.
Hold on.
He's gone all in, what a bet!
How much is it?
11 and some change.
13 is closer.
13,350 all in. Wow, Brian pulling the trigger here.
You want me to call? Well, I tell you every time. And then you listen. Maybe I'll listen. You gonna show me if I throw it away at least?
I'm smiling right now.
I can tell. You gonna let me pick one?
Faraz is in a difficult situation here. However, he is up on the night, so he could call and still be up if he loses this pot. And he's seen Brian put in a lot of money on the river without good hands a few times tonight, and that may all add up to a call in Faraz's mind.
It's a good call.
Good start.
You're good, man. I got nothing.
That's a great sound. You don't even need to see the cards to know you've won.
Devastating for Brian.
I'll rebuy for another 30.
And he's coming back in to rebuy.
Actually, I'll do 40.
There you go.
He upped it. He was like 30, reaches into the garbage bag. Nah, make it 40.
This is chump change.
Felt like you had a flush to me. I mean,
I played it right, but he made a good call.
Feels like the right time to say pokercoaching.com.
I didn't want to say it.
I got pokercoaching.com.
He got poker coached.
Yeah, if I was on pokercoaching.com, I wouldn't have done that.
I don't know. I don't think it was a bad play. You almost got me to lay it down.
Brian is ready to gamble. He's starting to go into the tilt fields here a little bit. He started out strong, and things are just going the other way.
I'm not nearly. I mean, being
I know you are.
Faraz Jaka picking up ace-queen. He likes that. Makes it 300 to go. Johnny Vibes coming over the top, making it 1,000.
1,000.
Brian gonna call. Juicy game here.
Oh boy. Here we go. We got cold calls of 3 bets with 6-4 suited. 2 players with ace-queen.
Flop, it's an 8-7-6. So Brian hitting 6 is gonna check.
Yeah, Brian outflops a pair of ace-queens. 7 of diamonds on the turn. If Brian is going to make this cold call pre-flop, I think betting the turn would be reasonable. You don't really want 2 opponents to see a free river card with all those overcard possibilities. However, this one plays out safely for Brian, and he will take the pot.
Woo!
Finally winning a hand.
got me for 1,000 there.
That's right. Come back. I always win money after I buy back in. It's a curse.
Me too. I busted and finally made it.
I also find that to be very true.
We should just start showing up to the table and shoving until we bust. Then we can start playing poker.
Faraz picking up the aces. Makes it 300.
When you're hot, and it has been Faraz's night thus far. Call from Brian. Shane comes along with the Jack-7.
Let's see if anybody can get lucky against him. Jack-7 deuce.
Goodness.
Jacks and 7s for Shane.
Rough flop for Faraz here. The only silver lining is that Shane has played very solid, so assuming he check raises this flop, I think Faraz will have the alarm bells go off in his head, and he'll play these aces cautiously.
So there's the check raise up to 1,800. Faraz is gonna say, okay. Queen on the turn, now there's 3 diamonds, so that hurts Shane a little bit for his action.
Faraz is looking to bet small here and price his showdown. He's basically charging draws, trying to get to showdown for 3rd pot.
1,400 called. And a king on the river. So we know Shane has the best hand, but there's diamonds out there. He's gonna check.
Keep here.
I think he lost a lot of value in that hand
Yeah.
by playing it too cautiously. All right, Faraz gets away pretty cheap, losing with aces. And that is Shane Sigsbee. He's a business owner from McKean, Texas, now living in Vegas. And he likes to back poker players. He's a poker staker, he's a sports bettor, he's into real estate, he's married with 2 children, and he's having a good time here tonight, you can tell.
Justin, going to 400.
I know I always can rely on you,
Brian just desperate to catch something with a 9-8.
I hope one of us gets unstuck tonight.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Flops a king, queen, 7. Justin coming out to bet near 300. Brian's had enough. Justin taking down a quick one.
I hope it's not through each other. I also will say that.
I was actually just thinking that too.
You're probably thinking the opposite. Like, yeah, it's gonna be you, mother.
I mean, everything I said back there, I didn't mean it.
It's good for
So-
TV, though.
Yeah, it's great. It was all for TV. Just know that, like, we can be cool until you watch what I said about you.
I said so many glowing things about you.
Faraz Jaka with the nice ace-jack will make it 500 to go. Justin with a pair of 5s making this call. Brian, he'll call everything, 9-7. And the flop is a king, queen, 6. There's 2 spades. Well, they all go check. 4 on the turn.
Considering how sticky Brian has been, I like this straightforward approach that Faraz is taking to pots against Brian. He's just... And this is a very nice adjustment as well. He just kind of plays a straightforward style. I think that's really good against Brian when he's splashing around so much.
4 clubs.
Not a great bluff card for Brian, but he does only have 9 high, so his only route to winning is bluffing.
He's stuck. He's desperate.
3. Just easier.
And he's gonna bet 3 grand with 9 high.
Faraz may be thinking about calling here. Every discernible draw is missed. The spades have missed. Jack 10, Jack 9 is missed. 7-5. Faraz with the ace-high call.
Hey, good.
Catches Brian with his hand in the cookie jar. And he's gonna slide that mask up a little bit.
So Faraz Jaka is making Brian his personal ATM right now.
Justin Young down just under 30,000 right now. Brian Ercolano in the same region. Shane Sigsby up about 4 grand. Faraz Jaka, our biggest winner of the night. Johnnie Moreno also up about 10 grand.
All right, the local Shane going out. Faraz Jaka, the big winner, takes a break. Johnny Vibes not playing. Justin makes a call. So it's down to the 2 guys that are stuck the most, Justin and Brian. With ace-jack, makes it 500. And Justin has called. Flop is a jack 7-5.
Actually a great flop for Justin. The double belly buster straight draw here, looking for a 6 or a 10. Brian with top pair, top kicker, actually has it this time. And we'll be happy to see this check raise from Justin.
Justin saying, wait a second, I actually have a hand here. In front, calling back the raise. Let's go to the turn. Gets an ace. That's even better there for Brian. Aces and jacks. Justin Young not getting it straight. He checks it. Brian will put in a stiff 6,000.
That should be enough to chase away Justin. About 80% pot doesn't really give Justin the odds to continue, and yet he is undeterred.
Yeah, he's starting to say to himself, I'm not Rodney Dangerfield here. Give me some respect, please. 8 on the river gives Justin 8, so he didn't get it straight, but he checks.
I wonder if Justin was planning a bluff on a spade and considered that one of his outs. He's holding the 9 of spades.
5.
Brian gonna bet the 5,000 for value here on the end.
This is kind of funny. He's only bet quarter pot, and he's bluffed so much that now Justin, with his rivered 3rd pair, has actually got a sticky situation here. Look
Wow.
at that.
2 pair.
The 5,000 bet, small but perfectly sized.
Nice one.
Gets called from Justin's 8.
Good, really good bet.
Thanks.
Brian, the entrepreneur, originally out of Baltimore, now in Vegas, on the comeback trail. Action on Johnnie Moreno. Folds. Justin Young not going to play his queen 8. Brian calling with 8-5. Shane also calling. And Faraz Jaka with king 4 hearts, content to see the flop. It's a king 8-6. So Faraz hitting kings. Brian is going to swing away and bet 300 with his 8s. Shane gets out of the way. Faraz calling with top pair.
Ten of clubs on the turn. Faraz will check over to Brian. And he'll continue with another bet of 300. And Faraz is just tossing Brian rope to hang himself.
Down to the river. It's a jack of clubs. Helps neither player. And they go check, check.
And Faraz gonna win with his pair of kings. Brian, no good with 4th pair on the river.
Brian mixing it up, trying to make a good comeback here.
You all right?
I'm just sweating. It's the lights. Poker coaching makes me nervous, too, every time I play a hand with them, but...
Yeah, Faraz has been his worst nightmare.
Yeah, Brian coolered Faraz near the beginning of our session. He rivered us straight up against Faraz's top set. That put Faraz down about 25,000 to start things off, and he has battled all the way back to be our clear big winner of the night.
Shane with ace-9. Calls it into Faraz, who has a jack 8 of clubs. He's getting out raising chips.
Nice spot to squeeze here up against the loose aggressive Brian and the mostly snug Shane. However, Brian makes this call with king-queen offsuit, so we'll go to a flop. And it is ace-9-6.
Oh boy, Shane flops 2 pairs if he sticks around, but he was pushed out. He's sickened by that.
Faraz with a flush draw and a backdoor straight draw will follow through with a bet of 1,800.
5.
What is Brian doing? I know he has the best hand, but what are you doing?
Trying to get even.
I mean, that's exactly what he's doing, Vince.
He is gambling here tonight. No club there for Faraz, though. Brian in front at this point. And let's see if he will continue the larceny here. No, he's going to slow down. He's had enough. 7 on the river.
Decent card for Faraz to try and bluff here. I mean, he has a blocker to the potential straight in 10-8 or 8-5. He only has jack high, and Brian has been splashing around so much that Faraz knows he could get to this river without many strong hands, and so he's going for it. 80% pot.
He read his man right, Faraz Jaka. With jack high, he's going to take it, and Shane is sickened.
Wish you wouldn't have squeezed that one pre for us. You could have played a big one.
I need to get these others.
I need to find someone I can beat. Then I'll happily give some of the money to you.
And things have gone south for Justin. He's down around 40,000 at this moment after a pretty hot start. Folds.
Brian here makes a call. Shane with ace-7 will make it 400.
Now Faraz starting to get in on the action whenever possible when Brian's in the pot. Calls 5-3 suited out of the small blind against the raise from Shane. Brian overcalls jack 4 diamonds, and we have a king jack 8 all spade flop. None of our players holding a spade.
They all go check. Another spade on the turn.
Brian with 2 pair
6.
is betting for value here, but betting a hand that can't really get called by much worse.
I want you to call.
Faraz check raises him.
2,000. God, man. We switched.
Brian shuffling his cards. Body language already communicates that he's gonna fold. Now just agonizing.
Bam.
PokerCoaching.com.
PokerCoaching.com.
Ooh, played me.
Boom, bluff in your face.
Well done. What session video is that?
That feels like not a beginner video.
That's a raise and pray video. That's the name of that one.
It's easy to do that when you have, $100,000 behind you.
I'm used to tournaments. feel like I'm chip leader.
For Faraz, making Brian squirm here tonight. Here's Johnny with a pair of 5s, and he'll raise to 300.
Yeah.
Justed out. Brian's woken up with an ace-10 of diamonds. Makes it 800.
Johnny more than happy to call with his 5s in position. And even happier to find a 5 on the flop.
9-5 deuce. And you got Brian betting. Oh, paradise.
Now the question now for Johnny is, do I call or raise? And he looks to want to fast play his hand, raises it up to 5,000.
Yeah, decides to torture him now. Don't do it to yourself. Uh-oh.
Brian has gone fishing at this point.
7, he's lucky he didn't hit a 10 or an ace. Now Brian slows down and checks. Oh, nice solid bet. 10,000. Poor Brian, who should go back to the gym after this one. All right, he's gonna let that go. Johnny's gonna show one of the 5s.
Sentinel bet.